No countdown, no teaser, no fanfare. Just one quiet moment and boom. Oblivion Remastered dropped out of nowhere like a forgotten memory clawing its way back from the deep. 1 minute you're scrolling through your feed and the next, you're staring at a game you haven't thought about in years, suddenly reborn in Unreal Engine 5, and it hits you. The music, the title screen, the way the camera pans across Cyrodiil's rolling hills. It's like opening a time capsule sealed in nostalgia and pixel dust. But here's the real question, the one clawing at your curiosity. Is this a true resurrection? Or a beautiful illusion draped over an aging beast? Because let's be honest, Oblivion wasn't just a game. For some of us, it was a portal, a messy, magical place that didn't care about polish, only about possibility. And now, it's back. But does it still hold that strange, off-kilter charm that made it unforgettable? Or did we all just outgrow it? I dove in the second it launched. No hesitation, just raw instinct. And what I found, well, it's complicated, it's beautiful, it's bizarre. And if you've ever loved Oblivion, even a little, you're going to want to know what's changed, what's survived, and what's still just a little broken. So before you spend your $50 chasing a ghost from 2007, let's talk. Because this remaster doesn't just ask you to revisit the past, it dares you to remember how it made you feel. At first glance, you'd be forgiven for thinking this is an entirely new Elder Scrolls game. The landscapes shimmer with detail, textures ripple with life, and characters have this Unreal Engine 5 sheen, like they've been sculpted fresh from digital clay. Oblivion has never looked better. Trees sway realistically, sunlight spills through ancient ruins like it's painting the walls. Armor gleams, fire crackles, and for a moment, just a moment, it feels like you're stepping into something legendary. But then it moves, then it speaks, then you press a button, and that's when it hits you. Underneath all the modern beauty lives an old soul, because this isn't a full remake. It's not trying to reinvent Oblivion. And it sure as hell isn't some lazy port either. It's something stranger, a hybrid, a Frankenstein blend of the new and the ancient. Unreal Engine 5 might drive the visuals, but Creation Engine still handles the logic, the bones, the way everything actually works. You can feel it in how characters walk, how menus behave, how the world holds itself together, with a nervous little shake and that contrast. It's fascinating. If you've never touched Oblivion before, this might feel magical, like discovering a forgotten gem polished just enough to feel shiny again. But if you've lived in this world before, if you've stood on those bridges, stared down into those gates, heard those NPCs bark the same line for the 100th time, you'll know, you'll feel it. It's like meeting an old friend after many years, dressed up, smiling, but still carrying every strange little quirk they had back then. And that's where the real question emerges. Does Oblivion Remastered shine because of its old soul or in spite of it? Step into the Imperial City for the first time in this remaster, and there's this sudden, strange stillness, not from a lack of life, but from awe. The cobblestones shimmer under golden light, every statue gleams with ancient weight, and the streets feel more lived in, more real than ever before. And for a second, it almost fools you. It feels like the Oblivion you dreamed it was, not the one you remember. NPCs stroll with more variation. The weapons have texture, heft. The towns feel fleshed out and, dare I say, beautiful. This is the part of the remaster that earns its title. It's not just updated, it's reimagined with respect, but wander a little further. Step beyond the gates, out into the open wilds, and suddenly, something's missing. The forests, once lush and dreamy, feel muted. The world is more detailed, yes, but also flatter in spirit. It leans toward the visual tone of Skyrim, desaturated, weather-worn, more realistic, but less magical. That radiant, almost fairy tale light that made Cyrodiil feel like a dream you couldn't quite wake from. It's gone. The biome variety is better. The technical fidelity is higher, but the color palette, now dulled, leaves some areas feeling oddly lifeless. It's a trade-off, and whether it works depends on what you're hoping to feel. To its credit, the game introduces some quality-of-life upgrades. Sharper UI elements, more readable fonts, And most notably, new voice lines that add some diversity to the world's dialogue. But even here, there's an uncanny shadow. The new voices mimic the awkward cadence of the original almost too well. It's like the devs didn't want to fix Oblivion. They wanted to honor its weirdness. And maybe that's the strangest success of all. This remaster doesn't try to rewrite the past. It lets the past speak, warts, wonders, and all. It's the little things, really. You hit the sprint button, and suddenly Oblivion feels faster. Not modern, not fluid, but undeniably more playable. For a game that once made you jog across half the continent in slow motion, this one change feels revolutionary. The world hasn't shrunk, but the journey between point A and point B, it's a lot less painful, and that's kind of the theme here. Subtle shifts, slight modernizations. Things you don't always notice at first, but you feel them, like the third-person animations. Cleaner, more natural, less stiff. Attacks now land with a satisfying hit stun. It's not Skyrim smooth, but it's a step away from cardboard chaos. You still get that slightly goofy running animation, like your character just learned how legs work. But honestly, it's charming in its own awkward way. Menus have been touched up too. The UI feels less like an old RPG relic and more like something usable in 2025. It's cleaner, easier on the eyes. But let's not pretend it's perfect. You're still scrolling endlessly through tabs, hunting for potions, notes, and that one. Cursed quest item buried 5 clicks deep. There's no proper note section, no item tagging, just the same old menu bones, dressed up in sleeker clothes. And then there's the quest log, still as vague and misleading as ever. One moment it helps. The next, you're piecing together NPC clues like it's a cold case episode. If you haven't played Oblivion before, prepare to read between the lines. A lot. These aren't overhauls, they're enhancements. Tiny sparks of polish scattered across a system that still hums with old wiring. They didn't sand down the edges. They didn't even try. And maybe that's exactly what makes it feel real. Let's talk about the Jank. Because it's here, alive, breathing, possibly breakdancing in the sky. Unreal Engine 5 didn't kill it, it just gave it more pixels. You see, Oblivion Remastered doesn't try to hide its rough edges, it wears them like a badge. You'll spot monsters flinging themselves into the air like possessed ragdolls. NPCs freezing mid-sentence, eyes wide like they've seen the end times. In one moment, a robe refused to render and flickered like ghost fabric trapped in limbo. Another time, a Clanfear launched into orbit like a demonic firework. It's hilarious, it's frustrating. And, in a weird way, it's home. Because you're not just revisiting Cyrodiil, you're revisiting 2007's beautiful chaos. Sure, there are improvements. The game auto-saves more frequently now, thank the 9 Divines, and load times are snappier. But if you thought a modern engine meant a squeaky clean experience, think again. Performance-wise, the PS5 Pro struggles in open-world sections. There's stuttering, frame hitches, nothing game-breaking, but enough to snap you out of immersion. On PC, there were a few full-blown Unreal crashes, not frequent, but just enough to remind you. This is a remaster built on layers of legacy code, and maybe that's the charm. It's not a sanitized remake, it's a resurrection. Jank, joy, and all. You step out of that first dungeon, the music swells, the wind brushes the grass. The world opens before you like a secret you weren't supposed to see. And just like that, the magic is back. Oblivion Remastered may not reinvent the wheel, but it remembers exactly how it felt to roll it down a hill for the first time. That thrill, that holy WT moment when the first Oblivion gate tears open, or when you stumble into the Painted World quest, or when you whisper your first contract for the Dark Brotherhood. It's all here, and it still hits. No cut, corners, no piecemeal content, no nickel and diming. Every official DLC is included right out of the gate, shivering aisles, present, and still as twisted and wonderful as you remember. Knights of the Nine? Still noble, still epic. Even the little add-on packs, yes, including the legendary infamous horse armor, are here. It's funny, really. You can feel the game's age in every click and animation, yet there's something enduring underneath all that. A heartbeat, a soul. This isn't just a game you play. It's a game you remember. It doesn't matter if you've been here before or if this is your first time stepping into the madness. Oblivion still knows how to surprise you, charm you, and pull you into its weird, wonderful world. It's clunky. It's dated. But when it works, it sweeps you off your feet. If this is your first time setting foot in Cyrodiil, buckle up. You're not stepping into a polished modern RPG. You're stepping into a wild, weird, beautiful ride. A game with heart, history, and more quirks than a pocket full of lockpicks. For new players, this remaster might feel like discovering an ancient book with a new cover. There's wisdom inside, magic between the lines, and yes, a few torn pages. But if you go in with an open mind, you'll find a world unlike anything else on the market today. And for returning fans? No, it's not perfect. It doesn't fix the infamous level scaling. It doesn't scrub away the jank. But maybe that's okay. Because in trying to stay true to the original, this remaster becomes something more than a visual upgrade. It becomes a tribute. A strange, beautiful love letter to what made Oblivion unforgettable. So, should you buy it? That depends. Are you chasing nostalgia, or are you ready to meet a legend for the first time? Let's talk about it. Are you diving in, holding off, hoping for mods? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We're here for it. And hey, if this helped you out even a little, tap that like, hit subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Now go and close shut the jaws of Oblivion.